and the twilight lies gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets reckless, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land under the free, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free, in the home of the
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the All Pro Broadcast Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and on camera tonight is Michael D'Amico. We want to thank you for tuning in tonight for a special edition of Racing here tonight. We are with the Kma Racing League here at Talladega running the Xfinity cars. That is the Mustang and the Camaros battling it out for a 100-lap race here tonight. And my goodness, it's going to be a great race that we have. A lot of things electric coming up this way, so you definitely want to stay tuned here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. Track conditions tonight are going to be 76 degrees, so that's perfect racing weather to bring you some good passes, some good side-by-side racing action here at Talladega. And what a night it'll be, and I'm sure with 100 laps and plenty of cars, looks like we're having about, I'd say close to about 45 cars right now queued up to race in this race tonight. There's going to be plenty of cautions here at Talladega. Cars are getting ready to get set to go qualifying. It is a nice closed qualifying set, so we're not going to see some of the lap times that we'd see during an open qualifying where people would have a draft partner to be able to get better qualifying times. So this kind of levels the playing field for all the drivers out there. But we want to thank everybody out in our YouTube and Twitch communities joining us here on this Friday night for this racing action. This is something new we're putting on, and we hope to be broadcasting more of these KME races here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. So stay tuned for that to come. Some other things to give you a quick rundown of what we got in the All Pro Broadcast lineup for you. On Monday nights is the Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling Super Speedway Series. They're going to be at Daytona next week. They're at Talladega this week. So this Monday coming up, that is Labor Day, folks. They will be at the track that you're seeing us broadcast here tonight. And in one more week after that, the week following, they're going to be closing out that 5-race series at Daytona for a wonderful night race there. On Wednesday nights, if you tuned in Wednesday, you saw the premiere of the Apache Graphics and Race Designs Truck Series. That was a great race at Charlotte. Damon Gilbert able to take home the victory there. Garrett Smithley made his return to Garrett Smithley made his return to the All Pro Racing Network. And it was an amazing event. Garrett Smithley, if you're not familiar with the name, he does race in the actual Camping World Truck Series, made his NASCAR debut at Michigan earlier this year, and he is racing in our league, so you have to check that out on Wednesday nights, folks. Garrett Smithley again, and that is the Truck Series brought to you by Apache Graphics and Race Designs. One race that we do not broadcast, but we have going on the All Pro Racing League, is the Cadillac Series on Thursday nights. You want to check that out. That's some great series action coming at you that way. You can find all this information and more on our website, folks, www.all-pro-racing.com, or on Facebook, look up All Pro Racing. All right, taking a look at some qualifying times as they're coming in right now. It looks like Mark Jackson in that number 3 car. You've seen him on the All Pro before. He definitely set some good times. He's currently your fast man with a qualifying time of 52.736. Abe Bowden right behind him with a 52.740, but is quickly knocked out of that second slot by the 67 of Mark Moffitt, who posts a qualifying time of 52.739. Got a lot of close qualifying times here. Again, folks, this is close qualifying. One car out on the track at a time. Everybody's qualifying by themselves, so they're not going to get as fast as lap times had they have a draft partner to be able to get a quicker lap time. And as we take a look again, it looks like Rob Malone is your 5th man in your top 5 there. He rounds that out with a qualifying time of 52.772 in that number 83 car. Matthew Quick, he's an All-Pro frequenter driver. That 89 of Matthew Quick qualifying time of 52.778. We're going to be set to go live here and get you some grid action and where these guys will sit. They got about 45 seconds remaining to the qualifying time. Then we will be set for 100 laps tonight here at Talladega. And again, folks, this is the KMA Racing League posting our 100 lapper here tonight on the All Pro Broadcast Network. If you're out there in our Twitch or in our YouTube communities catching our race, however you're catching us here tonight, go ahead and give a shout out. We'll go ahead and toss it up here on there for you, and appreciate everybody there watching on whatever media you're watching us here tonight. Always nice to see some people coming out and taking some time to watch us here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. And looks like Mark Jackson's time of 52.736 is looking so far to be your fast man. They got about 5 seconds, so they better edge him out, or he will have the pole here tonight. As we take a look, it does look like he will be your pole sitter tonight, folks. So the number 3 of Mark Jackson is your pole sitter with a qualifying time of 52.736. He will be the guy taking his green, the inside lane of the grid here. He's running that number 3 Goodwrench Service Plus car. His outside, you got the 67 in that Pepsi. That's Mark Moffitt with a qualifying time of 52.739. Looking back in third position in a Ohio League car, Abe Bowden in that 38. He's qualified at 52.740, good enough for third. To his outside in the fourth position is that 43 of Joe Thompson in that Camaro. He posted a qualifying time of 52.745. Rounding out your top 5 for qualifying was Tor Hellebo. He's the number 74 car with a qualifying time good enough to get him fifth of 52.749. To his outside, you got Mitchell Reeves in that 02. He's going to be taking a 6th slot. Looking back next, we got Rob Malone in that 83, and we're going to kind of move through these cars a little bit quicker than normal, folks. We got a lot of cars on this grid, so to his outside, we have the 89 of Matthew Quick in 8th position. Looking back at the next row, you got the number 6. That is Tommy Ryan. To his outside is the 51 of Kevin Schofield. As we look back now is the 32. That is Dustin Lee. Dustin Lee typically runs that 51, but looks like Kevin Schofield will be taking the 51 this evening. But Dustin Lee running that 32 Olive Hill welding car. His outside, you got the 28 of Brad Patterson. Brad Patterson in that Havoline car. Looking back now, Ryan Eckstein in that 20 Wrangler. He always wants me to give a shout out to Hacksaw, good old truck driver out there. If you're watching, we want to thank you for watching there, Hacksaw. His outside is the number 36 of Bartle Surface. He is in your 14th slot. As we look back next in the 37, that is Scott Zemke. He's good enough to get him into 15th slot tonight. To his outside, you got the 19 of Mark Allen. And I don't know if we're going to see David Adamson. Doesn't look like he's made it quite to the grid yet, but he is sitting in the 17th slot qualification. His outside is a 00 of Derek Fisher, running that National Guard number 00. His outside, or inside in the next row, is Jack Watts in that KMA Racing car, the number 77 car. His outside, we have Brandon Schnoop. Apologize there, Brandon, if I may have got it wrong. Then next we got Rick Webb, followed by Richard Rose, Byron Rose. Two guys with a kind of similar names there. And they're in 22nd, 23rd. Caleb Petrie, followed by Michael Johnson, and I believe Ricky Harden may be rounding out the field here in the top 26. So we'll be set to go green. They are making their way around that backstretch. We're going to be going green here in just a minute. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a 100 lap KMA Racing Series here this Friday night. Again, we want to thank you for tuning into the All Pro Broadcast Network. We are now making our way into turn 3, the Mustang iRacing pace car, pacing these guys around. When that car is out, these guys are pacing at about 80 miles an hour, so that's super speedway conditions. Talladega is known as the big one. That is the last 10 laps. There is a large wreck. This being a 2.66 mile track, definitely anything can happen, especially when you get the warmer temperatures. So as we take a look now, they're coming down the front stretch. We're getting ready to go green. Let's see if we get one clean lap. I'm sure we may have a caution here in the first few laps of this race, being this many cars. But they are making their way down. Mark Jackson, Mark Moffitt in the front. Abe Bowden, Joe Thompson are your front 4 as we get set to go green at Talladega. And here comes the green flag. Green flag flies. We are off on this 100 lap race here at Talladega. Mark Jackson, Mark Moffitt, 2 marks up front, taking the screen here on this Friday night. And already, look at that 67 of Mark Moffitt making his way up around the number 3, and he comes into the lower groove. A little bit of help there from the 33 of Joe Thompson, able to get him up there in that middle groove, and he settled down nicely into that lower groove right in front of Mark Jackson. Into the back stretch, folks, and we still don't have a caution. This is amazing. All these drivers doing the best they can. You get a lot of lap traffic in there. Definitely you can see anything happen. If you take a look down there at 74 of Tor Hellebo, he's got looks like he's running the Dutch flag on that car. Netherlands flag, I'm not sure. But interesting looking paint job on that car here tonight. And you can see the 89 of Matthew Quick behind the 02 of Mitchell Reeves as they make their way down the front stretch. Getting ready to put that first lap into the books. And there they go across the start-finish line. We will be on lap number 2. That means take one down, pass it around. We've got 98 to go here at Talladega. And as we take a look here, the number 67 of Mark Moffitt, still your race leader. On his tail is the number 3 of Mark Jackson, followed by the 43 of Joe Thompson, the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, and the 38 of Abe Bowden round out your top 5. And looks like the 43, that is Joe Thompson, taking us 3 wide into turn 3. Anything can happen when they go 3 wide, but Mark Jackson's getting a helpful hand right there from the nose of the 89 of Matt Quick. But don't look fast now. Here comes the 67, creeping up that lower groove right on the underside of Mark Jackson. That is the 67 of Mark Moffitt. He's getting a little bit of helping hand. I believe that is the 38 of Abe Bowden, giving a little bit of push there to get back up neck and neck with that number 3. But we are now 3 laps into the books, ladies and gentlemen, and we have done it caution-free. Definitely should have sent an over-under to Las Vegas tonight to see how many laps we could get in before the first caution. Anything can happen when you put a lot of cars on the field in these super speedways, and so far everybody looks like they're settling into their groove and finding their racing position just for the long haul ahead. Right, and as we look coming into turn 3, the number 3 himself, Mark Jackson, is battling with that 67 up front. Looks like a clean neck-and-neck race between those guys. And as we take a look back a little bit further back in the pack, we mentioned Ryan Eckstein. He started in 13th or 11th position, or 13th position, excuse me, and he's currently moved up to 11th. So some guys in the back are making their way up towards the front. So far, it looks like your hard charger of the night is Kevin Schofield. He qualified 10th and has quickly moved up 5 positions here in the first 4 laps of this race. He is sitting 5th. As we look at some of the other drivers around the pack here as they're coming down the back stretch. Looks like Bertel Surfs, he is pretty much sitting where he qualified. May have gotten a position up there. He's battling right there with Rick Webb and Caleb Petrie. And some sway action as they come around the front stretch. 3 wide heading into this turn, folks. That's the kind of race that you want to see definitely on these Super Speedway series. Some good 3 wide action, but definitely do not want to be the middleman in that 3-pack. You end up like a ping pong ball bouncing around. And still, your race leader looks like Mark Moffitt has been able to edge out Mark Jackson there up front and is deemed by race control here on lap number 5 as your race leader. Top 10 as it stands. Mark Moffitt, Abe Bowden, Mark Jackson, Tor Hielbo, Matthew Quick, Kevin Schofield, Ryan Eckstein, Rob Malone, Dustin Lee, and Brad Patterson are your top 10 here in the first 5 laps of this race. Again, everyone out there, we want to thank you for tuning into the All-Pro Broadcast Network. And we got our first caution of the night. Our first caution flies. It may have been the 32 of Dustin Lee in that one. We'll have to go back and take a look at our replay. And I believe it's the number 23 of Chris Bold involved in that. We'll have to get that for you here. As we take a look here, yeah, it looks like Chris Bold was involved in that accident. May have gotten the 37 of Scott Zemke a little bit loose out of that too. As we take a look here at our final replay, that 23 car, man, does he go spinning around. Fortunately, tough break for him this early on in the race. Chris Bowles, fortunately, he got involved in this, draws out our first caution here on lap number 6 here tonight at Talladega. Let's see if we can get him in here. See if we can get somebody in here. See what we can put on the line as we take a look down of available drivers. We always got to look to see if we can find an available driver here. for everybody. Let me get Abe Bowden on the line here. Abe Bowden, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there, buddy? Are you there, Abe?
Oh, yes, sir.
So far, 6 laps into this race, and we finally get our first caution out of there tonight. Interesting way it kind of panned out there for Mr. Voles, but how do you feel this race is going for you here so far?
Well, it is a little early on yet, and I think things are working out good for me. I did a quick pit here to get myself in the back. I like to follow in these big races and see what goes on, so that's what my plan is.
Yeah, I know. I noticed you had qualified third here tonight. It was a good job doing that qualification, putting in that good time there, and now you're sitting about 11th. Anything we can expect? Anybody to watch out for from your perspective here tonight?
No, I don't see anybody any special right now. It's still a little early on to pick winners yet, so we'll just have to play this out and see what happens.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much for your time. Best of luck to you in the remainder of this race.
All right, thank you.
All right, folks. Well, there we have it. We are on lap number 7 of the 100 lap race here at Kma Racing. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll maybe have another driver interview before we go green here at Talladega. We'll be back after this.
The outside contact made. 56 slides in at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the All Pro Broadcast Network here on this Friday night. We are racing here tonight with Kma Racing in their 100 lap race here at Talladega. Top 5 as it stands. Mark Moffitt in that 67 car is currently sitting first. He qualified second tonight, but he is your race leader here on lap number 8. Followed by Tor Hillebo, Mark Jackson in third, Kevin Schofield in fourth, and Rob Malone round out your top 5. And it looks like as they come down the front stretch, once they cross the start-finish line, we should be seeing the lights of that Mustang iRacing pace car come off. But before we do, let's see if we can get your third-place driver here, Mark Jackson, on the line. Mark Jackson, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there, bud?
Got me?
There you are, buddy. Well, you're our pole sitter tonight and currently sitting in third position. How's this race going for you so far?
Well, I think we got a good race car. There's a lot of fast cats in here. We're going to try to keep the car clean and having a lot of fun here racing at Talladega. You know, I think we got a car that can get up there and battle for the win.
All right, well, I'm seeing you're now on the back stretch, so best of luck to you in the remainder of the race, and appreciate the words there, Mark.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, that's your third place leader, a man of a few words, but good words. Mark Jackson in that number 3 Goodwrench Service Plus car. And as they make their way down the backstretch, getting ready to head into turn number 3, it will be the 67 of Mark Moffitt, the 74 of Tor Hillebo, followed by Mark Jackson and Kevin Schofield. Your front 4 will be set to go green here. Mark Moffitt, Tor Hillebo up front, getting ready to come around. And as we look here, they are making their way around now. That 67 Pepsi Camaro is making his way out there now. Here they come down the front stretch, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going green here on lap number 10 of this 100-lap race. 10% of this race set to be in the books. There goes the pace car into the pits. We're getting ready to go green. Mark Moffitt, Tor Hillebo up front. 67, 74. Out 67 to the inside, 74 to the outside. They're coming up around the start finish line. There goes the green flag. We are green flag here on lap number 10 of this 100-lap race here for the Kma Racing Series at Talladega. And there they go. Now they're going into the first turn. And it looks like Mark Moffitt's going to be able to hold off the 74, and it gets a little bit of push from the number 3 of Mark Jackson heading into the backstretch. They're going to edge out that middle groove. But don't look fast now. Here we go. We got the 74 being pushed by the 51. That's Kevin Schofield pushing Tor Hillebo up front. And it looks like the 89 of Matt Quick on the back of that 51 is giving a little bit of a helpful push. So right now, as it looks here tonight, looks like the lower groove steals the corners, but the middle groove definitely has that back straightaway locked down. Any ground these guys need to gain, they're going to have to do it on that middle groove and get some side draft off these cars to be able to make their way up front, get some good passing. It's not quite like the trucks that we see in the race here at Talladega. These guys in these cars, it's a little bit more harder to maneuver these cars than it is the trucks. And here on lap number 11, one clean lap back from the caution, we are making our way down the back stretch, and that 67 is getting a good helpful push, but here we go at 51, anticipating a good push from the 51 to the 74. And it looks like the 51 of Kevin Schofield a little loose. I think he was having some connection issues. He had a little bit of a blink issue there, but Matt Quick to take his place. Anytime I mention Matthew and the word Quick, because it is his last name, I gotta watch for the puns there. It's so easy to do. Matt Quick always has a definitely interesting looking car. He's like that grumpy cat, as you can see. You're taking a look at, if you're that 43 of Joe Thompson, definitely staring down that face of that angry cat. Definitely know that Matt Quick wants to get a good laugh in. It's almost like a psychological thing to his race opponents out there. And making our way around to lap number 12 now, the 67 still on that inside groove. That is Mark Moffitt, Mark Jackson working out lower groove. And it looks like the 83 of Rob Malone is kind of set back a little off of him, not providing any kind of draft support there for that number 3. Definitely the 67 would appreciate it, because it looks like the 43 is hooking up with the 89, and we got a little box train action at 74. Getting some good help there into turn number 4. But here we come down the front stretch now, and it looks like Tor Hillebo is going to edge out the 67. Will he stay in the middle groove? Oh, but here comes the 67. Get across that start finish line, and he got a little bit of side draft off that 74, able to get back right up front. And they're going to fall back, but as we come off of turn 2, don't be surprised if we see that 74 and that 89 push towards the front, back up again. Here they come. They're making their charge. Will it be enough to get Tor up front ahead of Mark Moffitt? We'll see as they head into turn 3. And it looks like he's got enough for the clear. The spotter gives him the clear, and down he goes. There goes Tor Hillebo. He is your race leader here on lap number 13. Nice little push there from Matthew Quick to get him up front, and he was able to get that 67 just clear, and the spotter says go for it, and he took it. He went right down and took it. But here comes Matthew Quick now. Like, he gave him a little bit of help. It gave Hillebo a little bit of helping hand, and now he's going to go for the lead himself. That 43 of Joe Thompson pushing him up there. We'll see if he's able to do that. Taking a look back at some other race battles here, because it's looking like it's pretty exciting up front. But as we take a look back, everybody's pretty much side by side right now. The first 10 to 12 positions. And I haven't seen anybody yet that's want to brave that outside groove and be able to work at making it 3 wide for a longer time than just half a lap. Somebody's going to have to get some guts and be able to take it up to that high groove, maybe get a good run, some side draft action up there off the middle groove, gain some positions, but they got plenty of time to do it. We are on lap number 14 of this 100 lap race. This is the KMA Racing Series. They are affiliated with PAD, folks, and if you're not familiar with PAD, that is Parents Against Distracted Drivers. PAD plays a big role in iRacing. They hold a lot of amazing events. If you're an iRacing driver and want to know more about it, just look up PAD in the racing leagues and what they have going on. But definitely wanted to give them a shout out for all the great work that they do, helping to keep team drivers less distracted here on the roads. And what we're going to do now, looks like we're going to go to Scott Kulovac. We're going to get into his cockpit and give you a little bit of views from his point of view on this race so far. Kind of see what it looks like from a driver's perspective. We'll go to the gyro cam and see if we can get you some good race footage from his cockpit. Scott Kulovac is one of the admins here in the KMA Racing Series. I want to thank him for putting on this racing series, and then us at the All Pro Broadcast Network happy to be able to put his racing series on our network here this evening. As we look down the backstretch, though, with Ryan Eckstein making that move, he's got the guts. He's up there 3 wide. Now, will he keep it into turn 3, or are they going to fall back? We'll have to see how this plays out heading into turn 3. Definitely wants to make some moves. He is battled right there by the 96. And as we see the 41 in that Chevy 41 car, he's definitely holding off tree. He wants to hold off, and it looks like they're losing momentum now as they come down the front stretch. So, tough loss for them. Good position gains, but only for a short while. They're going to lose it and head back there. Looks like they're going to fall back. Looking at it now, it's about 15th position. So, high risk, high reward, and definitely a lot of risk again. But Ryan Eckstein, he's staying up there in that middle or higher groove, but there he goes. He falls back in, unfortunately. Cost them about 5 to 6 positions, but again, folks, this is a 100 lap race. He's got plenty of time to do it. So Scott Kulovac, cockpit view. Kulovac tonight, he didn't even post the qualifying time, but he's currently running 21st position. And we had, it looks like 38 cars tonight. So if there was anybody's name I missed, as we look back at some of these names, I think I got everybody coming into there, but Steven Slicker may have missed him, Lee Ridge. Mark Allen may have gotten him, Ricky Harden. Some of the guys that were towards the back of the pack that didn't post qualifying times, definitely want to get them recognized in this race here tonight. And so far, we started with 38, but 36 are on the lead lap. It looks like Mitchell Reeves may have had a malfunction and has gone 3 laps down. And it looks like Bertel Surf, he started in 14th position and is now 6 laps down. So there must have been a mechanical malfunction for his caution, unfortunately, and has gone now 6 laps down. So looking back to the front, ladies and gentlemen, looks like the 43 of Lee Thompson by Race Control is your race leader, followed by the 89 of Matthew Quick. Richard Rose now moves into the number 3rd slot, and we can give him the Hard Charger Award right now. Richard Rose started 22nd on the field, and he is now up to a 3rd place slot. Tor Hellebo, who was leading a few laps ago, has now fallen back to the 4th position. And rounding out your top 5, that's 67 on Mark Moffitt, who led for a few and is now sitting in 5th position. They're making their way around the front stretch, about to put the second 10% of this race into the books. We are on lap 19, heading into lap 20 of this 100 lap race. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for tuning in to the All Pro Broadcast Network. We've got a lot of good things coming up. If you ever want to check out and see what we have a lot of things on our website. You can check that out. Our website is www.all-pro-racing.com, and on Facebook, All Pro Racing. stream's offline. That's why I was trying to tell you stream lost. I don't have sound. Has come out of the race here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As we take a look, it looks like the 69 got involved, and that was Scott Kolovak. We rode in his cockpit a little bit ago, and he got involved in that wreck. Let's see who else was collected in that as we take a look at our replay. I think Scott may have gotten loose and caused a few other cars to go down. It looks like may have been a 24 involved in that. .42 definitely had it rough. He went airborne on that wreck. That is setting us to a lot of drivers now pitting. Skolovic we see now coming out of the pits. Eventually, other drivers are going to be making, as cautions come out, the drivers definitely want to make a pivotal pit stop. Maybe take some fuel for a few laps or get some tires. Caution does provide a competitive advantage because the cars are not running at full speed. They're only running at 80 miles an hour. So as cautions come out, they definitely want to be able to get into the pits. Let's see if we can pull a driver in the booth here, get him on the line for you. We're going to go to 89 Matthew Quick. Matthew Quick, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there, bud?
I'm there.
It looks like you are doing some pitting action here. 23. How's this race going for you this evening?
I've been able to stay out of all the trouble, so we got a lot of resets, so I get a lot of caution today, so I just want to stay up front and stay it really.
How's that track feel like it's handling for you?
These B cars are handling pretty good, actually. I mean, I think the braking's good. I want to see some green flag pit stops to get the field spread out a little bit, but we'll see what happens.
Anybody you want to give a shout out while we got you on the line here, bud?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to All Pro Racing for casting. I want to give a shout out to Scott from Kma Racing for putting these races on. Without you guys, we couldn't have this. So, and also shout out to my So we're going to try to get some action going on today.
All right, well, thank you much, Matt. Best of luck to you in the remainder of the race there, bud.
Thanks, guys.
That was the 89 of Matthew Quick in that grumpy cat car, being able to give you a little bit of perspective how the race is going from him. And see if we could get a gentleman. This guy, he's all the way from England, and that is Steven Slicker. Steven Slicker, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there, bud?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
How's this race going for you tonight? I mean, you were 38th, not posting a qualifying time here tonight, and are sitting in that second place slot. So how do you feel so far? Is this race panning out well for you, or how's the track feel?
Pretty good. I was just taking it easy there for a few laps, and I just wanted to come up front, see what I can do for a little while.
Definitely, and I may have seen I took a pivotal caution early on there to help get you up front. I mean, how many laps are you feeling you can get on your gas mileage roughly? I know these cars are running, I believe, at 75% fuel, so I would think that you could probably get maybe at least 30 laps. Is that roughly close, or how do you feel?
Yeah, it's going to be around 30 laps with a full tank. Right now, I'm probably going to get another 15, so.
Definitely. Awesome to see. Well, anybody you want to give a shout out to? Well, we got you.
No, I don't think so, man. I'm all good.
Alrighty, well, best of luck to you, Steven, and thank you much for your time, bud.
Thanks a lot.
That was Steven Slicker in the number 14. He is now your race leader here on lap number 25, quarter of the way through this race here tonight of this 100. Showing you definitely that wherever you start, you can make your way to the front. All it takes is one critical caution.